Hello, this is John Gillum with Premier Education, and I am here with
Natalie Olmsted with EXIT Realty Mountain View.
And as this is Realtor Safety Month, I wanted to start a series of videos for the month. And what I'm going to start with first, which a lot of you have asked about in the past, is what I carry with me. A lot of you know that as an instructor, I'm on the road. In an average year, I'll drive between 60 and 80,000 miles. So it's a lot of time in my car, and I come across a lot of different things. And so through the years, I have built up a collection of things I keep in my car for safety measures for when I'm out there. And I've asked Natalie to join me to also kind of show what she carries with her. And I just thought this might be a good opportunity for all of you to have a chance to see what you do carry, what you might want to carry, to see if there's some other toys that you might want to carry with you in your car for safety matters. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and start with the stuff I carry with me. If Natalie has any questions or wants to know some of the stories behind it, she can ask. Then we're going to go over and look at some of the stuff that she carries with her. So to start with, in my car, you can see I sort of have a pretty decent collection. I've got a lot of the basics. This is a new tow rope because I have snapped my most recent one. I probably go through one of these every year or two. I do carry a multitude of flashlights. I'll get one out in a second. I carry this one with the red lens. It's a torch light, just because if I'm on an accident, I can have the red light so that people at a distance can see it. I do carry another smaller handheld flashlight that I'll show you guys in a moment. It's probably about this big, and it's 13,000 lumens. So when you think about a 2 million or 1 million to 2 million like candle power light, that 13,000 lumens is actually substantially brighter, and it's a small like pocket flashlight. So I'll show you guys that in a little bit.
So how far a distance? Half mile, quarter mile away?
This one will go 100 yards. The other one will go probably an eighth of a mile.
Okay.
For distance, but it also has a pretty big floodlight capacity as well for a handheld flashlight.
Excellent.
So, some other simple things I carry with me in my car, nausea bags. If you've ever ridden with me, these probably make a lot of sense, as does the Dramamine. I figure when we have a lot of people in our vehicles, especially if they're riding in the back seat and they're not used to that, I have a lot of clients in the winter, especially when we have to have our windows closed, they can suffer from motion sickness. So these are just some basics that I keep.
Okay.
A lot of you know I do a lot of ranch and vacant land, so I do carry ponchos. I've got 2 ponchos that are in the back seat of my Jeep. I also carry more of a full body. This is like a jacket and pants, and I carry 2 sets of these, and I have another set for myself, but these are the portable ones. Some of the things that I have used most frequently, one would be, and a lot of you guys have this is the Sunjo air compressor. It's a little mini compressor. It's probably 3 to 4 times stronger than what you would typically find in a typical car compressor, and it's rechargeable, so it makes life really easy, and it compacts down. These are my outfit, so kind of like the ones I have here. These are the ones that I wear when I go out. And storm matches, so these have the extended tips on them so that you can actually have them stay lit when you go out there. So if you ever need them for matches, you have that available to you. Let's try and see which order I want to go in here. This is probably the thing I have used absolutely the most. Although it looks like a giant battery pack, this is actually a jump kit. So I can take this, plug this in. Just gotta remember where my plugs are on here. Turn it on, and I have jumped multiple vehicles, even from a dead battery. It will go through a charging cycle for the battery and then have that. So when you look at for boats, motorcycles, like when you go camping, stuff like that, it does have the other ports in there.
Neat.
But for something really small, I can't tell you how many times I've been at a grocery store or out in public and come across somebody where their jumper cables didn't fit. I do have the double length jumper cables, but I've actually not had a need for them since I got this. So this saves a lot of space and time and stuff in my car. So these are things that you do have to keep track of. I do take them out about every 6-8 weeks just to make sure that they're still charged.
Okay.
So just some fun stuff. Obviously the little shop towels, paper towels, bungee cords, all that stuff. This is something that I would think most probably don't have. I'm going to use which. So this is a mini chainsaw. Again, for when I'm in the Jeep or out showing ranches. Every once in a while I'll come across a road where there's a small fallen tree. And even being Sasquatch size, sometimes I need a little help to be able to get things out of the way.
Right.
So, and I do have to give credit to Jeannie, my wife. She is the one where stuff comes up and I say, man, I sure wish I had one of these. And she gets bored and we'll go to research it. And she finds it. So she has been an amazing resource and gotten me most of these things for gifts. So I'll share that later. After being on multiple wrecks, several of them where we've had to wait for ambulances or life flight and things like that, this has become sort of my go-to kit for being on scene. So this has a huge amount of stuff in it, and I've actually incorporated other things into here that I carry with me, but you've got your vest, you've got, again, little emergency blankets, tape, compass, flashlight, the safety triangle, the glass brake tip, an extra set of jumper cables, another compressor. This all comes in one set. So like when you look at what this has in it as a set, this was an amazing find that Jeannie had. And again, it's just because a lot of times when I come across stuff, it's usually really late at night. As a guy, we all like kind of cool toys, right?
Right.
And this was, I don't know if I can even take it all the way out of the thing. This is one of the more cool toys I got. So this is a part of the handle. This is part of the handle. Yay. I'll need to take everything out to get to it. But this is actually an emergency shovel that I also have saw blade, knife blade. Think of like the Rambo knife. This is the shovel version of the Rambo knife. I'll have to see if I can get this stuff open. This one, as you can see, I have not used, but again, you can use this for a saw. It's got a very sharp blade on one end, and it is strong enough that even at my size, I can jump on this. I think it's got like a 350-pound weight limit, so you can jump on it and crank on it. So
excellent.
For emergency situations where you need to be able to have that extra leverage, it's kind of nice to have. I'll put all this stuff away later. As most of you guys carry in your cars, so this is a light that has a red flashing light. So for the LEDs, lots and lots of gloves. I don't think you can really ever have too many pairs of gloves. So these are waterproof gloves. These are just general gloves. Again, lots of gloves. As you come in here, extra tow rope, extra torch light, glass cleaner, a couple hammers, my sledgehammers for signs and whatnot, just for safety. And then you start getting into like the tools, like my general tools that I carry, which I have a whole nother toolbox over here. And then I have actual flares.
Okay.
Again, as I said, I've come across multiple wrecks. Typically it's on the interstate or on a highway where it's dark or there's bad weather, and you know, we're going at whatever speed, and sometimes people don't see the triangle, the emergency triangle, or the red lights, the red flashing lights. And so having the flares is something that I don't have to worry about weather. I don't have to worry about batteries. I can just toss them out there and be good to go. Of course, the emergency lockbox.
Absolutely.
Because you never know when you need one of those.
That's right. And I see you have your glass cleaner.
Glass cleaner, which is something that I use often. I have to replace those. Yep.
I believe that.
So not just for the houses, but that's just for my personal use. On this side, that's my Jeep cover. Again, tool-wise, I carry 2 sets of sockets. So I've got both standard and metric. The old school shovel, you know, the one that we've all had for years and years. Funnel for when people run out of gas and you need that. Extra screwdrivers. Another kit, because you never know what size you're going to need when you're out in different situations. And the socket set. So again, I try to carry most everything I would need. And again, a lot of this is when I'm out camping or just doing extra things. And then one of the more important aspects I carry is a first aid kit. I do make sure that this one is restocked.
Okay.
I will also say in the front of my vehicle, I do carry a knife. I've actually had situations. So you saw the glass brake tip. I've actually been on 2 wrecks where I've had to cut people out of their seat belts. And so to do that, you need to have a very sharp or pretty aggressive knife. I do carry that.
Okay.
And this one's going to be a bit more controversial, but I also do carry Narcan with me. I've been in situations where I've come across drunk drivers, but I've also come across people where they have been passed out and just out in their car with the car still running, and had to call 911. I would rather be prepared and have the have things covered for that. Probably one of the only things I don't have that I probably need to go get is an EpiPen. But again, just that's sort of the multitude of things I carry. But again, I realize that what I carry is sort of an extreme compared to what most would need, just because of the amount of miles that I put on late at night, open highways. I come across a lot of people that have hit animals, elk and deer, or gone off the road in snowstorms, and so I do carry a lot of the extras that I would need with me. In a winter, when the weather gets bad, I will have a come along, or I will have a portable winch, one or the other. But I always make sure that I have what I need for both this as well as in my Volvo. My other car is all-wheel drive, and I do carry this same stuff with me. So if I need to, I can still get people, out of ditches at that point. So overkill?
No, I think this is fantastic for the amount of driving that you do and the roads that you're driving on. I think this is a fantastic example of what should be in your vehicle. Thank you.
Yeah. So, and I'll go ahead and make a list of some of the other things like the shovel, the air compressor, the Halo jump pack. I'll go ahead and make a list of that and put that in the comments as we go down below. But so Natalie, when you're working, you probably don't need to have quite this extensive of stuff because most of the work you do is here in town.
Correct.
In Colorado Springs.
Correct.
So,
I don't have a trunk full of items like this. My driving consists of in town. I'll take you over and show you what I have here. Just like John was saying, he has his tools. I do have my tool bag. It's not as cumbersome. I always have a roll of tape, if not more rolls of tape. I do carry my sledgehammer for both signage and safety. I always have a couple of flashlights in my car. Wood blocks for signage. I've got all of my tools, all of my screwdrivers, all of my wrenches, hammers. I've got multitudes of different measuring devices, measuring tapes, electronic levels. I do carry, it's crazy, I carry a marble in my car. Just that, now that's for my listings, but I do carry one in case. I always have my scissors in the car. And I think, really that's what consists of what's in my tool bag. Oh, and then I carry my selfie stick, not because I'm excited about taking selfies, but I use it for taking pictures when I'm out with clients, looking at things like crawl spaces, so I don't have to crawl in them, or looking up high if I'm not tall enough to see what's on the roof or something high up. Sometimes the vaulted ceilings, I can't see what kind of alarm carbon monoxide detector it is. I can get a close picture of that. Very good stuff.
Actually, as much as I say in class, not to go in crawl spaces, not to go up in attics, not to put yourself in those situations for other safety reasons, I think that's a great idea and have not seen anybody do that, so that's awesome.
Yeah, no, and I don't go into crawl spaces, number one, for safety reasons. Number two, because I don't fit. I'm 5'9" or thereabouts. I don't fit. Number three, crawl spaces tend to have spiders, and I do not get along. So, my selfie stick, I can still be doing my job and showing clients what's in there. I don't have to put myself in harm's way. Okay, so I have my pair of boots here. I go places, I stay in town. However, I do go places, whether I'm doing showings, I'm doing listings, whatever, where, my shoes may not I may not want to get them dirty. I walk through fields, I walk through snow, I walk through mud, and so I just have a good old pair of rubber boots, and I can wear them through anything. It doesn't matter what happens. I've worn them through homes where it's not so clean on the inside, and I don't have to worry about getting my shoes dirty.
And we
So
talked
great.
earlier, that's an idea I love. I have a winter bag I travel with that
Yes.
has oversized snow pants, an oversized jacket, and then I also carry a pair of like Sorels for that. So
Right.
if you ever need them, you have that. And again, all this stuff just goes in a duffel bag. So when I go on a trip, it goes in the car. So that's awesome.
These just stay in my car because a lot of times I wear these during my listing. Some of the houses that I list, I need these first couple times I walk through them before we even put them on the market with the niche I'm in. So.
Not for safety reasons with talking to the sellers or buyers.
No,
Okay,
not
I
for
just want to make
no,
sure.
No, not for safety. Not for safety.
Because sometimes it gets a little deep, Natalie. I just
No.
Okay.
Okay, so I always have my disinfectant wipes with me. I always have my sanitizer with me, just because. Where I'm on the road a lot, I always carry a roll of toilet paper so that it does not get messed up. I keep it inside a foot booty. Always carry my own foot booties. You just never know when you're gonna need them. I always carry an extra mask, not just to protect myself or others, but because again, some of the properties that I list, I need before we get it ready, or as we're getting it ready, I may need a barrier for the smell.
Are you saying sometimes there's barns or cats or sheds that might have stuff in them that you might not want to be breathing in?
Yes, among other things. So, I always have solar lights, which actually, I mean, I suppose if I were ever stuck for any amount of time, I could, in fact, use them if I were going to be overnight, although I've never had, I'm in town, so I don't think so. These are actually for my listing signs.
Very cool.
Very cool. Because I do have animals, I'm always needing to lint brush myself. I always keep that on hand. You know, a lot of my listings, and sometimes even buyers' houses or houses that were under contract, there's a light bulb out. So as long as I have permission from the owner of the house, I will put a light bulb in for them. And at least I'm not walking through the dark. But
Key part there, with permission.
with permission, always with permission. I never make any changes to someone else's property. But back up, I have a light. Again, I have little hooks and whatnots around. I always carry around extra batteries, for 9-volt batteries for CO detectors, smoke detectors, or they're great as I'm walking around, you know, I'm driving around, I stop by a client's house and ask them when the last time they changed out their batteries. If not, here you go, here's a fresh one for you. Mr. Clean Eraser has come in handy when I'm trying to clean something up and there's a smudge on something, quickly clean it up. Having a couple of face plates for electrical outlets or light switches. I keep a couple on hand. Again, I'm headed off to an appraisal or getting ready for pictures. Come across something's missing, with permission again, I take care of putting that on. Always with permission. The last battery I carry around is a specialized battery that goes with my lockbox, because again, you never know when you're going to need a lockbox. Or my lockbox, my Sentry lockbox goes out. I need a battery. I have one with me. I always carry around extra grocery size bags. You never know. If I'm somewhere where I needed toilet paper, I have a place to dispose of it, trash bags, whatever. And then one big deal that I carry around is an extra outfit. This one is full coverage. This one can be, if I've destroyed my clothes somehow, I can throw it on, or to protect my clothes, I can throw it on over the top and then put my boots on if I'm going to be at a property where I feel that I need to protect my clothing, which has happened where before I can even list the property, I need to have something that protects my clothes. So I carry a couple of those around. And then of course in my car, because I'm always seeing my clients, I carry around a bin that has little Popeye items in them. One thing I like to make sure that I give clients periodically, WD-40, or I have it in my car because you never know when you need it. And then another one that I like to make sure I have for my clients, especially when they go under contract and I go and I announce it, some packing tape and a big Sharpie marker. Congrats, it's time to pack. Just little things in here. And again, the batteries, I like to have a little something. And if I'm at the grocery store and I see somebody and we're chatting, I let them know, hey, it was nice talking to you. Here, take this. Remember me, here's my card. Whatever, I keep all this stuff in. Up front, I keep a big grill lighter, and I replenish it with little snacks in my car because I tend to drive around enough that I don't stop and eat, so I keep some snacks in my car that won't melt, won't go bad. Center console, of course, you know, my chapsticks and my Kleenexes and things like that I may need that, you know, we have to have regardless of what we're doing. But, you know, and sometimes that's where I end up keeping my flashlight, just so that I have it handy. So that's kind of what I do. Wintertime, you'll see me having my shovel in the car. I'm known to do that because places I go, I need to shovel before I can even get into the houses.
All right. So I don't want to go into too much detail on the flashlight that you've got, but I noticed that it looks a little different than other flashlights. Do you want to just show us really quickly what's different with yours and why you would give your clients this one to use but not this one to use?
So I do have two flashlights here that I carry. This one is for my clients. This one is your typical flashlight turns on. This one, however, is one that it's a flashlight, but it's also a stun gun. So this one is for my protection, so that I can help protect my clients from any dangers we may encounter. Should we ever be in the position where I need to help protect my clients.
Perfect. Good. So cool. And we're going to do another series a little bit later on defensive objects that we can carry for self-defense. We get into a little bit later. I did say earlier that I would show you guys some other flashlights that I carry. Same as you, I do carry one flashlight for the passengers in my vehicle. So this is a 1200 lumen flashlight, just an LED. This is the one I told you about that is a 13,000 lumen flashlight. So as small as that is, small battery, doesn't last 20-30 minutes, but it is incredibly light. It is blindingly bright, so you do not want to have one like this that you are waving down traffic with, because you will wave them right off the road. That's why I carry the other ones. The other thing that I do also carry, and I just had this washed, I always carry a blanket with me. This is always like tucked in the back. I forgot I had this under my back seat. The reason it has a keep it in a garbage bag, so in the Jeep it stays dry when it's raining out and I don't have the doors on. But I have always carried blankets or hoodies or something like that, because in multiple accidents that I've been to, especially when it's cold or if the person's going in the shock, it is something that we can use to protect their heads. We can cover them up, we can keep them warm. And I buy blankets and carry the blankets that I'm perfectly fine with not getting back. Obviously, if they've been wrapped up or if it goes to the hospital with them or is covered with blood, I would really prefer not to get it back. But so again, just a lot of those things. So Natalie, thank you so much for coming out with me today and going through this.
You're very welcome. Thank you for asking me to help you out with this. This has been wonderful.
Yeah, no, this is great. I hope that this gives everybody, all of you and everybody at home, a little bit of an idea about different things that you can use for different projects. When this gets posted, I would love for you to put into the comments other things that you carry, or if you've come across a really cool tool or object or something. Again, it could be kitty litter, it could be, you know, a different kind of duct tape. I carry a lot of bungee cords and stuff with me. So I mean, whatever you have with you that's been like a really useful tool that you just can't live without, I would love to learn more from all of you, so that I can continue to add to my collection, and maybe there's some things that could benefit all of us. So thank you so much. And again, I'll be posting again something in about a week or so. All this month we'll be doing different series on just broker safety things. So Natalie, thank you so much for coming out today.
Well, you're
I appreciate
welcome.
it.
Thank you.
Yep. And we'll talk to all of you a little later. Thanks a lot.